Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at the top business stories. UAE invests 5.7 billion dirhams into water and electricity sector. ADNOC to make more crude oil available to international markets. And ADIB and Khalifa Fund sign MOU. The UAE bourse has had a tough day today. Dubai's benchmark index fell to its lowest level in almost 7 years. The DFM lost 3.5% and ended the session at the level of 1,374 points. That's the lowest since June 2004. The utility sector fell the strongest. Tabreed slumped 7.6%. DP World fell 4.4%. Arab Tech Holding dropped by 9%. Dragon Skull by 4.4%. Ema Properties lost 6%. One of the few gainers on the DFM was Arab Insurance Group with a plus of nearly 14%. 170 million shares were traded, valued at 277 million dirhams. And over in the capital, the ADX lost 1.8% to close at 2,527 points. The real estate sector posted the largest losses. Aldo Properties, for instance, lost 9.3%, RAG Properties 2.8%. Sura Real Estate lost 5.7%. The banking sector also posted losses, with Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank losing 4.1% and Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank dropping by 3%. First Gulf Bank lost 5.7%. Both energy stocks also lost ground, with Dana Gas 3.3% and TAQA tumbling 2.1%. One of the few gainers was Gulf Pharmaceutical Company with a plus of 6.6%, or Emirates Insurance Company, which surged 7.5%. 78 million shares were traded on the ADX, valued at 150 million dirhams. And now let's have a look at the GCC markets, which today followed in the UAE's footsteps. And now to our top stories. The UAE government is pumping 5.7 billion dirhams into the Emirates' water infrastructure and electricity grid. The UAE's president, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, has ordered the investment. Areas in the northern Emirates in particular will benefit, as more houses and shops belonging to UAE citizens will be provided with electricity. The Abu Dhabi Water and Electricity Authority will supply the Federal Electricity and Water Authority with around 1,300 megawatts of power to meet the increased demand. Also, Sheikh Khalifa issued instructions to construct a 100-kilometer water pipeline from Kalba at the southern end of the UAE's east coast to Dibba in the north. The pipeline is estimated to cost 900 million dirhams. Another 60-kilometer pipeline will be built to supply water to the Emirate of Al Quwain. Abu Dhabi National Oil Company has indicated that it is looking to make more crude oil available to the international market. According to the company, restrictions on 3 of its 4 export grades on crude oil were lifted. From April onwards, only Mulban crude will be limited by 10% and with that remain in accordance with OPEC's decision to reduce production. Also, the first time in 2 years, ADNOC did not announce to cut shipments of its lower Zakum Shaif and upper Zakum crudes. The UAE produces an estimated 2.3 million barrels of oil per day, and by that leaving 500,000 barrels of spare capacity. Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank and the UAE's capital's Khalifa Fund for Enterprise Development signed a memorandum of understanding today that will provide banking services for the fund's clients through the bank's network. The agreement was signed by Ibrahim Al-Manzouri, the Deputy CEO of the Khalifa Fund for Enterprise Development, and Mr. Tirad Mahmoud, CEO of ADIB. The MOU will provide credit administration services and the processing of finance applications for Khalifa Fund customers. The CEO of ADIB said the fund's strategic investments are essential to the development and progress of Abu Dhabi's small and medium-sized businesses, which make up a large part of the economy. And in turn, the Deputy CEO of the Khalifa Fund said that the agreement will enable multiple options for all segments of the fund's beneficiaries. And in our fast financial news, National Investments Company, an investment firm owned by the Qarafi Group, a major shareholder of Kuwait telecom operator Zain, announced that the sale of a 46% stake in Zain to Abu Dhabi's Etisalat has now been terminated. The Department of Economic Development issued 13,817 business licenses in Dubai in 2010, a 17% rise compared to 2009. Officials say this was driven by growth in the tourism and manufacturing industry, which accounted for 12% and 10% of new business licenses. 20% was allocated to the professional sector. And looking at more 2010 release figures, the Dubai Airport Free Zone Authority registered a 23% rise in sales over the same period a year earlier. Officials say 102 new companies were registered within the free zone, with 28% from Europe, 27 from the Middle East and 21 from Asia, and the remaining from Japan and the US, amongst others. Emiratization has also been a key focus for the airport free zone, having recruited 125 national staff last year. Emiratis currently hold 100% of the top management positions at the airport free zone. And moving away from the aviation sector, but carrying on with the theme of Emiratization, we are now joined by Abdul Rahman Sakar, the Executive Director of UAE Business and Strategic Affairs for Lloyd's TSB Middle East, to talk about nationals within the banking sector. Welcome to the show. Now tell us, how does that process of Emiratization work, and which areas in the banking industry are the most popular?
Well, in Lloyd's TSB Middle East, we look at Emiratization as an integral part of our day-to-day business and a contribution towards the society of the UAE. So we don't take it as a word, we don't take it as an obligation, it's a social contribution. We have embedded a lot of training and development programs to attract UAE nationals from all different backgrounds in order to get them developed and in order to get them to participate in the development and expansion that's taking place in the UAE as a whole.
What are the biggest challenges that you are facing at the moment?
I think the number of challenges that we do have is we have a competitive market. We do have a high circulation within the businesses. We have a shallow talent pool. Also, we do have a lack of understanding what is a career path. We have came up with different solutions in order to be able to tackle this in a positive way. For instance, we have introduced 4 different training programs. To start with the Head Start program, which is a program that focuses on Emiratis that just graduated from high school and they weren't fortunate enough to finish their bachelor degree. So we came with a 3-year program that will put them on the beginning of the ladder and will progress them from year to year in order to come up or to overcome the reward challenge. If they pass the first year successfully by showing a good performance, they move to the second year, which will reflect on more responsibilities and accountabilities. And as a result, of course, the compensation will get higher. So we overcame this. On the other hand, we have the undergraduate program, which we focus and attract students who are studying and working at the same time, where we believe we can accommodate these people or these students while they're studying to make them understand how is it to be working in a professional environment and how to understand how to relate the majors they have picked to the real world, as a lot of these students, when they picked those majors, did not have the full understanding of if this is the right major or not. Going from there, we moved to the management training program where we looked more on the talent pool. And what I mean with the talent pool, the distinguished ones who can be leaders of the futures, managers of the futures, we put them in a 2-year program. We take them through some strong assessment methods to understand that they are the quality of people they can lead the future from an Emirati perspective. And this is working quite successful. And finally, we have the full-timers program, which we look at experience or certain expertise from the market, where they can bring the banking and finance experience they have gained through their experience and add it to the vacancies offered from our bank.
How do the banks that operate here in the UAE make themselves more attractive for graduates, let's say, compared to banks abroad?
Fine. As an international bank in Lloyd's TSB, we have a great experience in banking. We have over 300 years of experience as a group. And the expertise we bring from the UK, with all the adapted training and development programs, we bring it down here and tailor-made it in order to suit the needs and the requirements from the UAE national's perspective. In order to do this, we have to understand, first of all, the UAE as a country, the history, the geography, create a kind of awareness, whether it's a cultural awareness, tradition awareness, or a general awareness, as we can adapt and come up with a proper work environment. To go from there, there's one of the biggest challenges that Emiratis face is the lack of understanding of their career path. So when we provide a genuine vacancy that this individual will come and add value to the job, he will have a full understanding that from the first day that this job, if he or she will do what is required from them, perform well, and show all the commitment that is expected from them, he knows exactly, or she knows exactly where she's going to be next year or 2 years from a career path point of view.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you for your insights. And after the break, we take a look at what made the international business news headlines.